What's good, chooms? I was just grabbing some breakfast, but now it's time for me to lock in and show you my Netrunner build that destroys Act 2 as soon as you step into it in Cyberpunk 2077. So without further ado, let's go ahead and lock straight in. Hey, if you find this video helpful and informative, I would greatly appreciate it if you smash that like button for me. Okay, chooms, let me break down how this video is going to go. We're going to talk about my weapons, my cyberware, exactly where you need to get key items to make this build work. And then finally, I'll show you some gameplay. There'll be gameplay running the entire time, but let's go ahead and jump straight into this. First things first, we're going to start off with my cyberware. The operating system is going to be the Tetratronic Rippler Mach 4. This is my favorite cyber deck right now because of that weapon damage as well as that plus 40% damage when you're using combat quick hacks and then immediately following that up with a non-combat quick hack. You're going to see in this gameplay that I do that often. I go Sonic Shock and then Synapse Burnout into Ping or something. As simple as that is, it completely takes out an enemy, takes them off the grid. They don't have any trace, and I'm good to go. Now, you're going to also see where I synergize that with other items in my cyberware as well as my attribute points, so we'll get into that a little bit later. When it comes to the optics, it's all about the stalker optics for me. I need to know where all of my enemies are at all times so I can see them behind cover. That's why I rock these. For the hands, it's a no-brainer, Smart Link, because I do have a couple of smart weapons in this build. I would recommend, if you're interested, you can grab Skippy to add a little bit more personality to this build if you're into that. But if you don't really need it, a couple of smart weapons and the Nekomata is going to be more than enough to handle all of your needs. For the circulatory system, I go heal on kill because you're able to neutralize enemies extremely quickly and you're able to get that health back when you need it. Legs, it's a no-brainer, double jump for me all day. Moving on from there, for the IS system, this is just, just some fodder, some extra things that I threw in here, not very important. However, for the nervous system, Synaptic Accelerator as well as the Reflex Tuner, these are key to the build. The second I'm able to upgrade these, I will, because for the Synaptic Accelerator, I like to slow down time as soon as I'm about to be detected, and usually my health is always low because of overclock. With that being said, when my health gets low, it slows down time even further. I can reposition myself, pop a heal, and later on in this build, when I get to the next level, I'm going to be throwing all of my points into body so that this build is absolutely unkillable. But for now, we need those two things. Fiend X is going to be extremely important to this build to get us back our RAM as fast as possible when we go below 5, and we will be doing that very often in this build. Titanium Bones is something I like to throw on all my builds because I'm just a hoarder. I grab everything in the game, so having high carrying capacity is key for me. Arms is Mantis Blades because I've always wanted a Mantis Blades build and I'm having fun with it. For the frontal cortex is the Bioconductor as well as the Newton module, and last but not least, the RAM upgrade. That's going to be my cyberware. You can switch this out however you see fit. There's still a little bit more space and things that you can add in here if you're interested, but let's get into our operating system and the quick hacks. The quick hacks for this build are the following. I start things off at the bottom, which this is going to be in reverse order when you're actually hacking somebody. Ping is here, so I can see everybody on the network. I know exactly what I need to do, and then, I judge accordingly. Following that with a Sonic Shock. Sonic Shock is going to take them off the grid. They can't find them, they deafen them, the scrambles of comms, they're gone. I follow this up with a Synapse Burnout and they're dead. Now, once I take them out, I go ahead and strategically take out other characters before I figure out what I want to do next. But I also have Memory Wipe. Just in case there's some type of trace going, I can use this to reset the progress. Following that, I have Contagion and Overheat. I use this combo because when you use Contagion and then follow that with an Overheat, they explode. And it's great damage. And not only that, but sometimes I'll follow that up with a Ping so that I can get a crit on that. Last but not least, I have a Short Circuit for all of those drones and mechs out there so I can take them out as fast as possible. Now, of course, once I get a better cyber deck and a little bit more slots, I want to throw in probably Suicidal as well as Cyber Psychosis to get some more damage in here and some more, I guess you would say, role play into it. But for now, for Act 2, as soon as you step into it, this is more than enough. This isn't Act 2. Haven't even spoken to Takamura build. So there is a whole lot of improvement. There's a whole lot of things you can switch up. So feel free to do so. When it comes to our weapons, we have 2 smart weapons and 1 tech, which is going to be the Nekomata. When I get to Pam Am and I finish her questline, I'm going after her sniper because I want to be able to snipe things behind cover just in case I can't reach them with my net running skills, which probably will never be the case, but hey, if it ever happens, I'll have a backup. My go-to though is this right here. The L69 is just a great shotgun, smart shotgun by the way, that is going to get those headshots in. And if they haven't been already destroyed by the contagion and overheat combo, this will finish them off. So that's the entire build in a nutshell. My attribute points are kind of a no-brainer. It's all into intelligence, and there's a couple of things that I also throw some points into. For example, the synergy that I was talking about earlier with low health will come right here when we talk about overclock. Overclock is the heart and soul of this build. It's going to allow you to basically use your health as RAM, and when we do so, you can then get the most out of Q mastery. I will load up 4 quick hacks on something real quick to watch it melt to hell, and then follow that up with a little bit of spillover depending on what I'm using to try to spread my quick hacks to other enemies and destroy everybody even faster. This build is all about the damage, so I would recommend that you go ahead and throw this in here as well, the race against mine, because you will always find yourself at extremely low health. You'll be able to get that RAM back a lot quicker because of specific cyberware that we have, but at least when your health is low, you're going to be getting more damage if you go ahead and you grab this perk. Another perk that I recommend in certain situations would be copy and paste. If you have a Netrunner that you want to take out and you want to take out everybody else on the grid at the same time, you want to grab this. And last but not least, I also recommend the queue prioritization because you're always going to be loading up a bunch of quick hacks on an enemy. I take these off to slide them into other slides until I have more perk points to permanently get them, but everything else on this build for me is things that I just must have. RAM optimization is mandatory, and I do minus 30% in traceability because I hate trying to get traced by anything in the game. It's really annoying, and this is a great way to go ahead and kind of control that situation. Speculation as well as Shadowrunner are no-brainers. Once again, it's all about taking down an enemy as fast as possible to erase that trace progress back to 0 so that I can reset it just in case I can't get to whoever is tracing me. Now in the technical ability tree, you basically just want to throw into this so that you can throw more items into your cyberware. We're going to be building this out very last in the game. This is going to get to 20 eventually, probably before I get to Phantom Liberty, but for now I'm going to prioritize body. When I get to level 31, I'm putting all of my points all the way into Adrenaline Rush so that I can make this build invincible. That's my whole headcanon and what I've been theory crafting so far for my build, and I hope it's working out the way that I think it will, but we'll just have to wait and see when I get there. Okay guys, now in order to get this build, if you want to get the weapons that I have, you can actually buy the specs, the tier 4 specs from this vendor right here. Go over to Corpo Plaza, and right here at this gun shop, this guy had all 3 of the specs that I wanted: a sniper rifle, a submachine gun, and the shotgun that I needed. So yeah, come here for those. It's also not a bad idea if you're interested to grab Skippy. If you want more, personality into this build, that could be a great addition to go ahead and have a great Netrunner playthrough with a little bit of, just Skippy action. Now, no Netrunner in the world is complete without an explosively amazing vehicle, and I went ahead and bought the Yabai Kusanagi CT3X, but if you want a free vehicle, I'll go ahead and take you over to one right now. If you come right here to the All Foods plant, you'll be able to cross the street and come over to a garage. In this garage, if you put in the passcode 0214, happy Valentine's Day for those who know the number, you'll be able to unlock this and get a motorcycle for absolute nothing. That's free, chum, so you gotta grab this. Now, this is a motorcycle that is tied into a quest line that you will be able to see a lot later on in the game. But if you just want to go ahead and get yourself a quick free vehicle and ride around in style, you can come here for one. Now, if you're wondering what side quest this bike is tied behind, it's the Highwayman side quest. So if you're interested in that, I'll go ahead and make a guide for it. Let me know if you need that down in the description below. Now, just before we get into the gameplay, a lot of you may be wondering, why don't you put points into the smart system if you're using smart weapons? For now, it's all about priorities. It's not necessary for the build. You're way too powerful as it is with a tier 4 cyber deck at this point in the game. You're wiping the floor with absolutely everything, even Netrunners that are stronger than you. So you just don't need to put points into this. I'm prioritizing everything that I need first, and then once I have the extra points, I'll throw it in there later, just for the icing on the cake. But now that you have your cyberware, your vehicle, and everything else you need for the build, let's get into destroying a bunch of enemies. So, as you can see in front of me, I got a couple of voodoo boys, and they're about to have the worst day humanly possible. We start things off with a sonic shock, and I go straight into a short circuit. I'll go over to the next tomb, and I'll go ahead and pop a sonic shock. I'll go into overclock just for no reason to go ahead and prove a point, and then just wipe the floor with both of them like that. They're gone. Now a Netrunner should be around the corner, and we got a little bit of spread, so that's pretty awesome. But for this situation, they see me, and I'm not really nervous about anything. So I'll do a traceable thing. I'll go into a contagion, into an overheat, and spread that love a little bit. Now, just in case they want to get froggy, I'll go ahead and pull out my shotgun, which I don't think I need it because they're already dead. Kind of sucks to be them, but it is what it is. We'll synapse burn out that guy, and we'll just, we'll just take out these tombs and get 2 shots off, so they can't really get anything done from me. Guys, this build, it makes things too easy. Like, you could take out an entire block, and you don't even have to pull out your gun if you don't want to. Now, of course, I could have been a lot less inconspicuous, and I could have, like this dude's leg, like hid behind cover somewhere. He probably should have did that, but not everybody can be that smart. But as you can see, you can fly through levels, fly through getting a whole bunch of loot extremely quickly with this build. And yeah, nothing is really going to give you any issue. We have a Netrunner right here in front of me. Usually for this, I would do something like a sonic shock into a synapse burnout. I think a synapse burnout into a ping would have been wonderful, which, you know what, I'll go ahead and do. And they're gone. I just did that to be a troll, but let's go ahead and take these 2 out very quickly. We'll go there, into this and that, and then 1 shot for good luck, and then back off and watch them melt. Guys, like, it's just too much fun. It's just too much. At some point, it's either cheating or, we're just that damn good. Oh no, they saw me. That was quick. So I have this Netrunner that's probably going to give me a little bit of problems. I'll go ahead and hit them with the contagion first before they get to doing their thing. Take a shot behind them, and they're gone. All right, now that I got my overclock, it's time for us to go to work. For this guy, he needs an overheat in his life. For these 2 chooms, I mean, they're pretty much dead. Wow, I took her out standing up. That's tough. She's hanging on for dear life, literally. My bad, Choom. Now, I recommend that you do not craft any of your quick hacks. When you're out here farming in Pacifica with this insanely powerful build, you're going to be picking up quick hacks and quick hack specs all day long. So let the game work for you. Don't go out there spending any of your precious components when you don't have to. If you get into a pinch, don't forget to use your weapons. These guys are not going to be fast enough to take you out. And just like I was saying before, you will always be picking up crafting specs as well as quick hacks while you're out here. So yeah, don't waste your components. But that's pretty much my Act 2 Netrunner build. It's going to be a hell of a lot more powerful a little bit later on in the game, and trust me, when I get there, I will be dropping another video for you guys. But if you found this video helpful and intuitive, I would greatly appreciate if you smash the like button for me. Consider subbing so that you don't miss out on any more tips, tricks, guides, and everything else you need for Cyberpunk and your favorite games. It's your boy MSensei for now though. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here.